Number 3. This locomotive stands out to the others on our roster because of one word: steam. Restored in 2015, this little locomotive currently holds the title as the only regularly operating standard gauge steam locomotive in the whole state of Ohio. Loved by crews, rail fans, and passengers alike, there is no doubt Number 3 is a special part of our railroad. This video will dive into Number 3's history from its beginning to now. We will start with some general statistics on Number 3. Number 3 is an 060 steam switcher built in March of 1920 by the Baughman Locomotive Works. It is fueled by coal and has a tractive effort of 21,438 pounds. Now, let's dive into Number 3's history. It may have been built in 1920, but its story actually begins a few years earlier. In 1915, the Grand Trunk ordered a locomotive from the Baughman Locomotive Works. An extended wagon-top boiler was constructed, but World War I caused the order to be canceled. 5 years later, the Beech Bottom Power Company in West Virginia ordered an 040 tank engine. As an extra to that order, Baldwin assembled 060 Number 3 from extra parts it had, including the wagon-top boiler from the locomotive that was never built. Number 3 entered service shuttling coal from the mine to the power plant, but a short time later, a conveyor was installed to move the coal instead. At that time, the engine received a second air pump and was placed in ash dump service with air-operated ash dump cars. It was retired in 1968 and put on display in Cumberland, Ohio. In 1982, it was donated to the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway and made the trip there via railroad flat car. It was stored for the next 2 decades until the new millennium brought it some hope. Shortly after the turn of the century, a group of volunteers commenced Number 3's restoration. The first decade was a slow process, but included disassembling the locomotive, restoring the tender, and constructing a new wood cab to replace the original rotted one. The biggest task, though, would be rebuilding the boiler. Finally, in early 2011, the boiler was shipped to J.S. Company in Middlefield, Ohio for rebuilding, a process that lasted 3 years. While the boiler was away, volunteers worked heavily on the frame. To put it simple, every nut and bolt on Number 3 was cleaned, inspected, repaired, or replaced. Notable jobs include new boiler components, new lubrication systems, new eccentrics, and new journal bearings on the rear axle. After the boiler's return in February 2014, the next year was spent reassembling the locomotive. Everyone's hard work finally paid off on May 9th, 2015, when Number 3 steamed for the first time in nearly 50 years. Coincidentally and appropriately, this day was also National Train Day. 2 more test runs occurred during the summer of 2015, the latter of which featured a full-length round trip with a 7-car consist. That run finally deemed number 3 ready for excursion service. Number 3 made its first public excursions the first weekend of October of that year. Those runs proved successful, and it came back out again 2 weeks later. Its second weekend of service featured crowds large enough to prompt an extra evening train. It was clear that this little old locomotive was alive once again, but the age of vintage equipment can sometimes come into effect. This proved true, with number 3 requiring additional shop attention over the next 3 years. Some repairs included repairing dry pipe leakage, dropping and repairing a driving axle, installing a boiler jacket, and even giving the smoke box a facelift job. It was also during this time that the railroad purchased a special whistle for number 3, a reproduction Pennsylvania 3-chime whistle from Rizzoli Locomotive Works. A soft return to service in October 2018 proved successful, and steam specials were scheduled for the first weekend of that November. A warm welcome of passengers and rail fans alike awaited number 3 that weekend. Today, number 3 continues to be used on a semi-regular basis. This gives passengers the chance to experience something not many get to see: an operational steam locomotive. Some of our steam specials even offer photo run-bys, where passengers can disembark to watch and photograph number 3 and the train go by. If you'd like to come out and see number 3, please be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for updates on when it will be running. And that's not all. We also have special Facebook and Instagram accounts just for number 3. So please be sure to like and follow those accounts, as well as our regular Hocking Valley Scenic Railway accounts. And to purchase tickets for trains, please visit our website at www.hvsry.org. Well, folks, this concludes our spotlight on number 3. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. Family fun is a train ride away. Make tracks to history.